Coming up on SAU News, Southern welcomes the holidays with its annual Christmas tree lighting.
Only 1 week left in the semester, and students are stressing out with pending exams, projects, and deadlines. We'll show you how you can survive by staying healthy.
And what is it like to produce a movie on a $200 budget? We'll take you on location where senior film majors make it work. SAU News starts now.
Welcome to SAU News. I'm Kendall Rittenour.
And I'm Ben Lowery. Our show is a weekly newscast brought to you by the School of Journalism and Communication. Dr. Bietz was put to the test. Students asked the president any question on their mind at today's annual town hall meeting.
Reporter Natasha Mirilov was at the meeting and joins us here in the studio. Natasha, what kind of questions were asked of the president?
Well, like every year, there's some hot topics. This year, some of the main issues regarded professors' performance in the classroom, the university's strict convocation attendance policy, and will Campus Kitchen ever return?
My name is Samantha. My question is, are there any plans to bring CK back in the future at some point?
You will be blown away when we have the new Student Center.
Students had lots of other questions, some more serious. At least 3 students wanted to know why professors who received negative classroom evaluations were still teaching at the university.
If there are teachers that are not doing a good job, you need to tell me.
If I tell you what's going on with the teacher, my grade is in risk.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I guarantee you that is not the case.
Okay, I'll come to your office and tell you about it.
Okay, looking forward to it.
On a lighter note, some students wanted to know whether the university would be willing to reverse its current ban on cultural dancing.
If there's another way to accomplish what we believe we should accomplish at Southern and still have some cultural expressions that involve movement, I think we could do that. But it's made it a little simpler to just not have quote-unquote dancing.
Maskery, who as a senior has attended multiple town hall meetings, said students ask many of the same questions year after year.
I know that there are some that were repeated from years past, but those are concerns that people still have.
However, others said Dr. Bietz appeared to genuinely share their concern.
I thought it was a good chance for students to be able to get their questions across, to voice some things that have been on people's minds, that have been on people's yik-yaks.
As students were leaving, I heard comments from some wishing this wasn't just a 50-minute convo. There seemed to be more questions than there was time to answer.
You said teachers' performance was a controversial issue. How did President Bietz respond?
Yes, there were questions about professors, mainly why professors are allowed to teach even after they get bad evaluations year after year. But Dr. Bietz explained that course evaluations are not the only factor used to evaluate professors. Some professors have skills outside the classroom that are valuable to the university.
I heard students ask Dr. Bietz what he wants to accomplish before he retires.
Well, he said before retiring, he definitely wants to see the Student Life Center built. Now, that means he might be here for a while because ground isn't supposed to break until next year.
Thanks, Natasha. The university's Christmas tree lighting was postponed this year due to rain. Finally, Southern got to celebrate their annual Christmas tree lighting this week on Taylor Circle.
I didn't realize that it was on the whole promenade, and it's just so cool how they have stuff like everywhere so that it's a progressive, moving event.
Musical performances from the School of Music filled the air.
In Huntsville, students at Oakwood University held a peaceful protest on campus. In a rally called Black Lives Matter, dozens gathered in front of the university library. The event was in response to a grand jury decision not to indict New York City police officer in the chokehold death of a Staten Island man. With students preparing to leave for break, Oakwood University pastor Carlton Bird led them in prayer. The student body president urged classmates to seek tangible solutions to incidents like what happened in Ferguson and New York City, so they don't continue to happen.
A fatal shooting at Florida State University last month was a grim reminder of how anyone with a gun can invoke fear and violence on campus. This cell phone video recorded the tense moments as police responded to shots fired in the university library.
There has been a shooting in the library. Stay where you are. We'll be coming to each floor, clearing, and taking care of anybody. If anybody has a victim, if anybody has been shot, call 911 on your cell phones. If you have not been shot, or you do not know if somebody was armed, do not call 911.
The gunman shot 3 students. One of them remains paralyzed from the waist down. The shooter was eventually shot and killed by Florida State Police outside the library.
So what if an active shooter came on our campus? Last spring's campus lockdown had many people wondering if campus safety is truly prepared for such situations. Reporter Hannah Goldstein asked students if they believe that Southern's campus safety officers should carry guns.
Campus safety drives around Southern 24/7, patrolling the area and watching for suspicious activity. They carry pepper spray and batons. Patrol Supervisor Josh Fraker says the decision for officers to have additional protection is up to university administration.
Right now, administration is looking at whether or not tasers would be an additional use of force option. And firearms, when they come into discussion, it won't be for a few more years.
Though there are varying opinions on whether or not campus safety should be armed, many believe that by them carrying one of these, the repercussions of an armed gunman on campus could be minimized.
Because if there's a situation where there's an active shooter or would you want your campus safety to throw some handcuffs at them? You know, you want to be able them to be able to do their job. So I don't see a problem with it. Keeps them safe.
However, others believe campus safety officers are underqualified.
In my opinion, campus safety doesn't have the qualifications to run a parking meter, let alone have a fully armed division within itself.
Currently, campus safety officials say the university isn't experiencing the type of violent crimes that would warrant deadly force on the premises. Recently graduated Samantha Minton believes that campus safety doesn't need to be armed, especially since there is a strong police presence nearby.
Southern doesn't have that high of a crime rate, and quite frankly, that's what law enforcement is for.
Without being armed, campus safety officers are trained in how to handle a deadly threat on campus. However, Fraker declined to reveal what those tactics are. For SAU News, I'm Hannah Goldstein.
Though students have mixed feelings on whether or not campus safety should be armed, we won't know until a few years when it's actually approved or not.
Freshmen were invited to a special lunch meeting to learn how to make good decisions in college in preparation for a career. They gathered on Tuesday in the presidential banquet room for a free lunch and convo credit. First-year experience, the support department for new students hosted the event called Lunch and Learn. While students ate, Career Services Coordinator Jeremy Moore gave a presentation with advice about how to best use their university experience. He identified potential pitfalls like choosing a major based on what seems like a safe career but you're not passionate about.
The most helpful thing that he said was that you don't have to figure it out now that you have time and that you will change. So if you do change, you won't feel bad about it.
The event was intended to inform and encourage freshmen who are facing overwhelming decisions. Those interested in learning more were encouraged to visit the Career Services office for personalized advice.
Film majors from the School of Visual Art and Design are required to produce a senior project at the end of their university career.
SAU news reporter Georgia Standish takes us behind the scenes and shows us how the filmmakers get creative on shoestring budget.
Sunday night, the presidential banquet room was transformed into a wedding reception, but no one was getting married. Senior film production students Joseph Cartwright and BJ Passenger were shooting their final senior project, a romantic comedy entitled Man Card. Other film majors helped crew the project, such as operating the camera, choosing the shots, or adjusting lighting. Being a film student sometimes means you have to fulfill multiple roles, such as being part of the production crew and being in front of the camera.
I'm the production designer. They oversee all of the art aspects of the film, so for this movie I bought all the decorations and was in charge of getting the room set up and decorated. Well, I bought the dress. We were going to put an extra in it, but it fit me, and I said, "Can I cameo? I've never done that before."
The total cost for set design, props, and costuming was only about $200, which had to be carefully budgeted to create the look of an authentic wedding reception. It takes a lot of people working together and a lot of attention to detail to make a senior film set look realistic. And you often have a very small budget. So you have these wedding presents here that look like they might have a vase or a toaster in them, but really, they're just empty boxes. Man Card describes the journey of a young man whose family will only recognize him as a real man when he gets a girlfriend. They even have a literal man card to give him when he starts dating. However, he learns that a man card isn't what makes you a real man.
The hardest thing I find when doing a movie is getting extras because, we don't really have a lot of money, so we can't pay them. We can try to convince them of food.
Anyone who wants to help with a film is welcome. Extra hands are always needed, and you'll get to see your name in the credits.
Keep your eye out for posters around campus or calls for extras on Facebook. The film department really appreciates willing volunteers.
Music fans who love bluegrass and country swing got a Thanksgiving treat over break. WSMC's Cowboy Jubilee radio show featured local entertainers including Fletcher Bright and the Tennesseans. While it's not exactly the Grand Ole Opry, the show has quite a history, with this being the 21st year it's aired live on WSMC. Cowboy Jubilee host Billy McCauley is the master of ceremonies and rounds up some of the best guitar pickers and fiddle players in the Tennessee Valley. Cowboy Jubilee can be heard each Sunday night at 6 on Public Radio 90.5.
Staying healthy can be difficult when you're taking a full load of classes, and it doesn't help that there's cake at every Christmas party, even though I eat all of it. So who has time to sleep anymore also? We asked university health experts for some tips. SAU News reporter Jason Upson has the story.
Temperatures are dropping. The days are getting shorter. Finals are approaching, and students are busy studying in the library. Trying to keep from getting sick can be difficult this time of year. Mary King is the support nurse who works out of Thatcher Hall, and she had some advice to share.
The number one thing to help you not get the flu would be to be vaccinated, to get the flu vaccine.
Students can get the flu shot from the health center or the nurse's office in Thatcher. The vaccine costs $20 and can be applied to your school bill. It may be getting cold outside, but it's still important to get fresh air and exercise.
So out of all the health advice that I heard from professionals on campus, this is what I heard the most. Avoid the processed foods and the refined sugars. Look for more variety and color in the foods that you do eat, and most importantly, drink plenty of water, especially when you're sick.
Are you eating quality food? Are you making sure that you eat that food at the right time of day? And are you making sure that you don't snack? So getting 3 balanced meals, must have breakfast. Healthy people eat breakfast.
For those who are feeling overly stressed or dealing with depression, free counseling sessions are available from the graduate counseling program.
Each appointment lasts about 50 minutes. The first session is, getting all the background information, so it's not quite as personal as some of the other sessions, but they would get all that background information and then develop a plan together.
One more bonus tip that we heard from Professor Sloan. Good time management is key. Make it a priority to get quality sleep. For SAU News, I'm Jason Upson.
For more information about flu shots, visit the University Health Center on University Drive or the support nurse in Thatcher. Free mental health counseling can be scheduled at the Student Success Center in Linwood Hall or with the counseling coordinator in summer hour.
A new European-style bakery will open near campus next week, and we'll introduce you to the business major who's baking the fresh bread.
And I will take you downtown to Chattanooga, where students are skating at the outdoor ice rink. It's only $8 on Tuesday night because that's the college price. If you see news happening or simply want to tell us what you think about Kendall, Tweet us at SAU News Now.
Our newscast is a joint production of the TV News and Multi-Camera Production class here in the School of Journalism and Communication. I'm Kendall Rittenour.
And I'm Ben Lowery. See you next week, Collegedale.